this on that Everest?
Yeah. That felt to me like one beyond moment. You know what I mean? It was like one notch too fast.
I'll come up from the back here.
All right.
So I'll run from the back. Dramatic.
Oh,
How have your rehearsals been going?
Very good. Just as I wanted, actually. The choreography and everything is fresh, brand new, different, and I'm really enjoying it. It's fantastic. I've got a set of twins that I worked with in America. They're back with me this time. And then I got another one of Janet Jackson's dancers. There is nothing there that I should not be excited for.
I don't know how they can dance with these tight trousers on. What brings you to South Africa?
I was here actually about 16 years ago for the first time.
Ms. Turner, how long was your tour of South Africa?
5 weeks.
And what sort of music are you into at the moment?
Well, basically, I call it R&B rock and roll. A lot of my peers have been working here, so I thought, well, why don't we just start the tour from here and just to see what it's like for us. Now it's a whole new young generation that's into American music, so I thought maybe it's a good idea. I have a young group of people that are fans, like you. I'm younger. Then I have my age group, and maybe even older.
My 8-year-old daughter and my 56-year-old mother are equally crazy about Tina Turner, so I think you're going to get a spread of people because she's got that, you know, she's had a long life.
All right, position, please.
Despite the show still being in rehearsal, Tina's dancers found time to put a group through their paces.
They want to come in and share a few steps and show us, and, you know, just audition, really. Thank goodness, because I cannot say that I wouldn't use those guys. They're so fantastic. I learn so fast. Oh, do they dance?
I really admire her, especially the way she went through her marriage. For me, that's a very big inspiration. The way she was able to stand up strong against all those hard forces. I really admire her in that respect.
You know, all I've done was live my life, and a good cause has come from it. I didn't set out a goal to say, I'm going to be an inspiration for young people. Maybe I should have, but then maybe if I had, then I would not be an inspiration.
Tina is a hero for people here. You know, she comes from a poor background, she comes from an abused relationship, and that is about the story with most women in South Africa, a majority of the women.
I'm happy that such a life became attractive to be an inspiration for battered women, younger people, etc. I'm really thrilled about that.
Ike Turner discovered Annie Mae Bullock, changed her name and dragged her across America for the next 20 years.
Turner. Ike Turner. Listen, Mr. Bullock, Anna Mae sang at the club last night. She knocked everybody out.
Now, if you came back as Annie Mae Bullock, what would you change?
I wouldn't work in the cotton fields. Other than that, I realized that my life gave me a growth and a strength. That's what the looking back has changed and make it easier to think about it. And I'm saying no nice. Come on. Come on. I don't want to actually deny any of that because I realized that it was a lesson.
Come on! Come on! Go!
I lived a double life for about 16 years. I was a mother and entertainer, but not the mother that really felt that I needed to be at home because it was difficult to travel and work as much as I was working and do as much for my sons as I needed to. So I was torn somehow. And also being unhappy in an unhappy relationship.
In 1976, after years of abuse, Tina walked out on her marriage with Ike. She kept 36 cents, a petrol card, and her name. She was determined to make it alone.
We always covered pop songs or rock and roll songs. So we recorded one style of song, and on stage we did another. And the covers is what was stimulating and what I performed to and what I preferred. And so when Ike and I separated, I just went for what I did best and the type of songs that we were using for performances, which was basically rock and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Francisco and welcome to the Fairmont Hotel.
Now for 3 years. Has it been very difficult to establish yourself as a solo artist? Have you almost had to start again in a way?
Exactly, starting again. That's exactly what it was like. 2 years of that. It was very difficult, but it's sort of finally coming together now.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my
The record company had decided against signing me on because, well, I didn't have much going for me at the time in terms of music, just old Ike and Tina music and so forth. So then, when they were just signing on David Bowie, David said to them, I'm going to see my favorite singer, Tina Turner. Well, aside from David taking them in, the place was packed. Oh, it was. I was even surprised. It was. I don't know where they came from. So the record company became really very excited.
By 1983, Tina not only had a record deal, but a new image and a single in the UK top 10. Her first solo album, Private Dancer, followed and went into the top 3. At 44, Tina Turner had returned with a vengeance.
But I simply said to them, well, you liked it from the past, but it never sold, you didn't buy it, so why are you complaining about it now?
And then It's Only Love, duet with Bryan Adams. What was he like?
I think Bryan and I have a link, like David and I. Is just someone that I'm very comfortable with working on stage and singing his music, and it's just a real matter.
I've had a lot of people ask me about doing duets since then, and it's been a no-go because once you've sung with the Queen, who else do you sing with?
In 1985, Tina took on her first major film role. Despite success on the screen and in the charts, she was not entirely happy with her music, wanting to sing more rock and roll.
That was impossible to get in just with a rock and roll album, being a black person, especially like in America. You got to go with commercially good songs. So that's what I went for. But still, I think my ultimate dream before I sort of really let go is to really put out that really raunchy rock and roll album.
1988, Rio de Janeiro. Now, you played at Rio.
Now, already, if you say Rio de Janeiro, it was such a hot performance. It's the first time I've ever almost fainted in my life, I think. It was the first crowd that I'd ever worked for, and I didn't know what I was going to do. How am I going to get to these people? It just looks like an ocean of people. You know, in Europe or in America, you get blondes, brunettes, and then black people, a mixture of all of the colors if you're looking at from the top. But it's all brunettes, and you know, that's what I say, it looks like a big pot of beans. It was looking from the top.
And then Simply the Best came out in 1989. Have you heard of a boxer?
Play yourself.
I played that part already.
A business right here. That marquee out there say Ike and Tina Turner. And the people out there waiting on me, and you laying up here talking about you, China. What you gonna do? You want to take care of business, or you looking for a way out?
You had a fairly exciting and momentous life and career.
Well, not that type of excitement anyway.
No.
I want to be on the end with the stick this time.
I don't care who's wrong or right. I don't really want to fight no more.
Tina didn't want to appear in her life story, but she did help out with the dance moves, although some of the songs brought back painful memories.
It was a song that I loved singing for the soundtrack. It was difficult to sing on stage. Because first of all, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to fight anymore because I don't. I just look over my shoulder and think about it. No, it was too close to home.
Which song is it?
I don't want to fight no more. No, this is great. Played with everybody around the globe since I've been off, and now they're ready to rock again with me.
Do you know that John does a pretty good impression of you, by the way? You know when they're sound checking? Yeah. You obviously know this.
Well, he's got a very high range. He's a great singer. Well, you know John Miles as well. Yeah, he's had a career of his own.
Music was my first love.
What's it like to work with Tina? Really?
what's she like to work with? What do you think their reply would have been?
Well, I know what it better said.
Is she a hard taskmaster?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she can be. Without a doubt.
Yeah. She always knows what she wants. She knows what she wants, and
gets it.
you asked why we were rehearsing by ourselves without her. Because if we don't rehearse really hard by ourselves, she has nothing to tear apart.
Do you think you're quite tough on them?
No, not tough enough.
Listen to that, guys. Remember? Oh, you know they auditioned me yesterday.
Did
for the band.
they?
Yeah, yeah. So you might find yourself up on stage alongside me.
Oh,
Actually,
God.
I doubt it yet. You haven't heard. You haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh,
Hey.
oh baby, he's got it.
Let's stick together.
Together.
Forever.
Come on. Ever. I'm a good or bad. Happy or sad.
Thank you, South Africa.
I love you all. 7 years since you last recorded a studio album. Why has it taken that long? Was that a conscious decision? Or?
Yeah, that was a rest period. That was just a time where I didn't want to take pictures. I didn't want to do videos. I didn't want to sing for a while. I just felt like, you know, taking off. And it's good. I think it gives the people a rest, and it makes it very fresh to come back again, you know. That's what if you can leave the people waiting for you. And it looks like that's what happened.
I read that you're finding it difficult finding new material that's naughty enough. What did you mean by that?
You've done your homework, haven't you? You know, my type of performance is to make the people leave on a high and forget about whatever the struggles are at the moment with the world or with their private lives.
And you got it the wrong way around. You're definitely not a drummer, are you?
I like the naughty songs. We're not saying nasty songs. We're just saying naughty, something to make the people laugh or give them just a little stimulation. And I have quite a few of those songs in this album. I like that kind of performance. I like to trigger and play with the people, the men and the women, to get them going and make them have a really good time. And this album is action-packed, I must say. Sexy, low voice, groove type of music, and it needed a male voice. And we were thinking, well, who could it be? And someone that's attractive and that's a vibe, so to speak. Antonio Banderas. Get to sing into the mic, and we go, stand in the rain, into my window, bring back sweet memories. Can't stand the rain, can't stand the rain, against my window. Da, da, da. Whoa.
Oh, hang on. Oh,
we're getting serious here now, aren't we?
Never seen coming. You just let it.
Tina's famed for her collaboration.
In love with an album of his, Fields of Gold, and I thought, well, this is my chance because, you know, we can start. I would love to squeeze into some of the feelings that he kept with some of his songs.
As we walk in fields of gold.
And that particular he came right over that same evening, 10 o'clock at night or something it was. And I loved just the piece they put at the very end. Just made it just happen. It's totally different from how I was singing it. It added another dimension.
I will never be the same again. I feel the whisper of the wind. The silent rain.
You also worked with the Pet Shop Boys, am I right? What was it like working with them?
Great.
Song we written, like when Tina
Yeah, I think they're wonderful.
When we were together, everything was so grand. Now that we parted.
Despite being offered new songs by some of the best in the business, Tina's also included some covers on her current album.
I like to have the freedom to sing what I want. I don't agree with the concept of, well, I must sing my own material. This particular one, I Ain't Missing You, that I covered, it was a sweetheart of mine. It was a song that lasted, and it was in my mind from the first time I heard it. I really love the song.
I always catch my breath.
And I'm still standing here, and you're miles away. And I'm wondering why you left. And it's my heart that's breaking down this lonely heart tonight. I ain't missing you at all. How's that?
That's fantastic.
Pretty good, huh?
Now, you've passed 50. How do
I
you...
am? Oh, yeah. Okay.
How do you manage to keep looking so sexy?
Ooh. Do you look sexy?
You
got a red face. Okay, how do I manage to keep my appearance fresh? How's that? That's better?
No, sexy.
No, sexy. Well, I think the short dresses is a trademark of being sexy. I think the songs on stage, singing naughty songs, is a promotion for being sexy.
Is the raunchy image just part of the act?
The raunchy part is part of the act. I don't go to dance halls and do all of my craziness when I'm not on stage. I do it all on stage. My oldest had a bit of a problem with it. I gave him a picture once of a very conventional photograph of myself, and he says, and that's how one wants their mother to look. And I said, well, she wouldn't have given you money. Well, he didn't like that very much, but they adjusted to it because they used to give me dances. You know, they'd come home, Mother, this is a new dance and this and that, you know. But also a mother that was always gone, so you could really understand what was missing there. There were a lot of nannies and babysitters and so on.
In those early days, it seems Tina also wasn't at all happy about her trademark legs.
I said when I was very young that they were too long. I mean, plus it was a fashion then. It was just out of fashion, you know. And the clothes were different then also, and I didn't have full control of dressing myself properly for such long legs. I just have a very short torso and, you know, long legs, and they were in my way in the beginning. So I heard myself on the radio, and I thought, who is that? My voice is really very strong. I can really yell at a distance, and it's also very, very deep as well. So it's an unusual voice. I don't think it's a pretty voice. I lose sight on life because I'm a prisoner to my own success, you know. I still drive around in Switzerland. Is what I like about it. It's just small enough for me to get around town and pop in the market. And, you know, there's something about, that's part of life. It's like going to buy my own flowers, popping in the market to buy a few things. Yeah, I know you think I'm all draped up and pointed out here and slaves running around.
Now, where's management?
No, it's not my style. I'm just a real person. This fella is from England. He has a really huge television show, so promote yourself.
What's it been like dancing on stage with Tina?
Hey, it's been
Hey.
great. It's been wonderful. I mean, it's a great experience for us. I mean, it's been nice. I mean, we're all smiling. I mean,
But fellas, what about this? Nice surprise, huh?
Yeah.
Would you like to perform with me in Johannesburg?
Yes.
Yes. Well, this song is easiest for you because you basically already got it, right?
With you and me, when I want, and the free, no reason.
Now, I know you're a practicing Buddhist. What is it that attracted you to that?
This is just a little story. It's just small compared to what the practice can do for you to change you and make you a better person. I had spent some money, and I was in trouble with paying the shop off. And I know if I had gone to Ike and asked him for that kind of money, it would have been curtain. Sometimes I look at a lot of the fashion shows, and I think it's art. Some of that stuff is just, you know, they design those wonderful dresses, and I've bought some and haven't worn them yet. Some people collect art. I collect clothes. That's one way of looking at it. I'm very generous. I could buy a lot of gifts. I'm shopping for myself. I shop for tons of people.
So can we go shopping one day?
No, you want to go now?
Well, that's very kind of you. I'm 42, actually.
Oh, you want that wardrobe, huh? What do you want? Whatever you want.
You know, when you wake up in the morning, what, gets you out of bed? And
You know, I don't think any of us know who we really are, if you know anything about what I mean. It's when we get down to knowing what drives us or why we do certain things or why we like certain things. A lot of us, if you really get down to really analyzing what it means, you don't really know. It just means that this is just how I am.
I'm not going to wash for weeks.